Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tess. I am a licensed esthetician and corrective skincare specialist. I'm so glad you clicked on today's video because it's going to be a good one. I am going to be reacting to Hailey and Hyram doing their skincare routine together. Now, I will be honest, when I saw this video pop up in my feed, I was immediately jealous. Hailey is my girl. She's my style icon. I think she's all of our style icons and girl crush, but I feel like me and Hailey are meant to meet and do our skincare routines together in her bathroom. But until then, I will be filming reaction videos in my bathroom. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up. Comment a video you would like to see next, and without further ado, let's hop into it. Okay, the thumbnail is very cute. I will give them that. I'm very jealous, but they're still cute. Okay, let's watch.
Today, my first guest on this series is none other than Hyram. Okay, so basically what we're gonna do, our production team has put out a bunch of different products for us to test out, talk about, try. I think that it makes the most sense for us to start with this Hers cleanser.
Yes.
It's their hydrating cleanser. It says rich hydration with hyaluronic acid, squalane, and green tea extract.
Oh, those are like my favorite ingredients.
Yeah, so I was gonna say those
ones.
are 3 ingredients that we love. You can get prescriptions through them, which I think is actually really genius and really cool and really clever. And I'm actually really excited to try this. It might be my new favorite cleanser. So, okay, I'm actually going to throw my hair up.
Okay.
Because
I'll put my
it'll be too.
There we go. We're good.
Okay, so I'm just gonna pump this out now, and then I'm gonna step to the side and I'm gonna.
Okay, can I join you too?
Yes, please,
Okay.
please. We're being very legit in here today.
We are.
So the first thing that I want to say is that for me with cleansers, I don't like anything that gets too foamy, too many surfactants, too much.
Yeah, it like strips the skin.
Yeah,
You
it
can do that a lot.
makes it feel like your skin feels like tight after, and
Yeah.
I've never liked that feeling.
Tip, if your skin feels tight after cleansing, that's not a good sign. Some people really like that, and I'm like, no, that means your skin's dry.
Bring these on over. Hailey, you and me, girlfriend. This is Undo. I have a hunch you would love it. If you'd like me to send it, shoot me your address, girl. I got you. So I don't know about the Hers cleanser, but it seems like a hydrating cleanser, non-foaming, very similar to my very own Undo, which is magical. I've never had a bad review, comment, bad feedback, anything from a customer so far, and my mom isn't the only one who bought the set, but I am a little bit biased. So I haven't tried the Hers cleanser, but Undo has some similarly hydrating and healing ingredients such as yucca, green tea, panthenol, allantoin, so I'll just leave that there, Hailey. Now, I did have something to say in regards to Hyram's comment. I do feel foaming cleansers have come a long way since maybe the days where we were all shopping at the drugstore and just had a few options. I used to love the Neutrogena cleanser that came in the orange and white bottle. It came out creamy, but then it got really foaming, and your face did feel tight afterwards, and I think for a long time we thought it was a good thing. Now we know a little bit better, but the good news is there are so many other foaming agents aside from sodium lauryl sulfates that can give a great foaming action. SLS is chosen because it is very cheap and it produces a very satisfying foam. So in low foam, I actually use sodium lauryl oat amino acids. This is a very gentle foaming agent derived from oats. So it's not soothing and drying. It's actually the opposite. If you've ever heard to take like a oat bath when you're having a skin reaction because it can calm and soothe the skin, it is the same thing with low foam. But my clients and customers have been so impressed with this cleanser. You do not feel tight or dry after using it. If anything, your skin feels hydrated, you have a glow without exfoliating, and your barrier is kept completely intact. So I just had to put that out there for the intelligently formulated products out there that are foaming. They don't have to be considered drying products. A foaming cleanser does not have to be stripping, so that doesn't have to be part of cleansing at all. It can be if a product is not formulated intelligently.
What is your skin type? Yeah,
I have dry skin, yeah. Like I have really sensitive skin as well, so like it gets red at like anything, and like I could like scratch it for 2 seconds and then it's like a full like red mark. So I usually go towards things that are not stripping, not dehydrating. I liked this a lot.
Okay, distinction to make. Love you, Hailey. Love you so much. But a lot of people assume they have a sensitive skin type because their skin is reactive, and it's really just that, it's reactive skin. So same, if you touch my skin, if I play around, even if I have my hair here, my skin will get red and I'll have a visible reaction, but there is a difference between reactive skin and sensitive skin. I learned this in the treatment room when I was a newbie just starting out, because a lot of skin types will flush or react or get that redness to the skin, and I would get nervous as the esthetician because I was thinking, oh my gosh, I did something wrong. But all that was happening was that we were stimulating blood flow. I was not experiencing pain or discomfort. It was just a normal reaction. So it is important to make that distinction, because there is a difference between truly sensitive skin, skin that has more nerve endings and is going to react poorly to exfoliating ingredients, active ingredients, things of that nature, versus somebody who just might have a little bit of a redness. They are totally different things, and it's important to understand, because I see so many people who come to me and think their skin is sensitive. Oftentimes it's really just weak and it needs to be strengthened with the proper ingredients, but we do find they can tolerate certain ingredients. It's just about a slow step up approach to those active ingredients. It doesn't mean you have to forever avoid them. I actually think you are missing out on strengthening the skin. It's like working out. The first time you go to the gym, you're not gonna run 10 miles and pick up the 50-pound weights. You're gonna start slow and build from there.
I felt like it got everything off. I had a little bit of makeup on before. It took everything off super easily, and my skin still feels hydrated.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't feel dry. It's really gentle, which I love in a cleanser, like you were saying too, because there's just no reason for it to be super harsh. I feel like it removed everything well, but my skin feels soft.
Same.
It feels like supple and hydrated, so that's a good sign. So I'm impressed.
Yeah, the ingredients are great, and what we know is that it was developed by dermatologists.
Yeah, which I think is really cool, like science-backed, which I know like you and me both, science skincare geeks, it's really important. So I love that it's accessible, dermatologist recommended.
This brings up a great point, which is that dermatologists approved can really just mean there was one derm who was a family friend or who was paid off. We don't know. You know, I don't want to assume, but it doesn't always hold a ton of significance. So I would just challenge consumers to ask more of brands and about the founder behind the brands, because it doesn't always mean a derm was there every step of the way testing products. We really don't know.
It's also fragrance-free.
Fragrance-free, certified cruelty-free, vegan, and paraben-free. All things that we love to see.
Just gonna throw it out there, Free Skin by Tessa is also fragrance-free, paraben-free, cruelty-free, and vegan.
Well, I'm gonna let you take me to the next one.
Okay.
If there's something that you think is a good next step after we just cleansed.
Yeah, for sure. So usually after cleansing, I like to go in with a serum afterwards, just because your skin's really like bioavailable, so it'll soak it right up. You wanna do it before moisturizer, before you put that sealant on top. So I would love to introduce you from a product from my brand. So it's the Retinol and Rainbow Algae Repair Serum.
Okay, amazing.
So I really wanted something that would be able to help fight damage in the skin, but be really, really gentle for people who usually have super sensitive skin and can't access a lot. Yes, me as well. And so I think the thing you'd love about this one, it includes retinol, but a really gentle form to make sure that you can use it even every day without having any issues. And then it has squalane to really make sure that your skin stays moisturized, hydrated, all that kind of stuff. Because I don't know if you've used a retinol before, but it can dry out your
I've
skin
tried.
so much.
I definitely have tried. It's very rare that I found one that was gentle enough for me.
Well, if you're down to try,
Absolutely.
even just test it out,
Yeah.
I would love to introduce you to it. Right here, the Retinol and Rainbow Algae Repair Serum. So you only need like 4 to 5 drops for your whole face, just because I wanted to make sure you don't need very much. Go. And feel free to use as little or as much in whatever area as you want.
This feels super nice. Like, it doesn't feel dehydrating at all.
Good, that's the goal.
I love
can't
that.
stand it when retinol just like dries out your skin. And it just feels so soft. You need barely anything.
I had a lot of issues with like purging with retinol. I mean, I've heard a lot of debate about the word purging, but just because of the skin cell turnover happening so fast, it was breaking me out, and I was getting all these tiny little breakouts, and everybody's like, well, you have to just deal with that until your skin gets used to it. And I'm like, I don't have the time to deal with that. So
I feel that. Sometimes it could be sensitivity, which people will be like, oh, it's purging, but in reality, your skin is like reacting to it. And I think like when you're first introduced to retinol, that can happen, like for the very first time, or you haven't done it in years. But if you're consistently seeing purging, like with whatever retinol product you're using, that's sensitivity.
Okay, I do love the advice to ease into retinol. Now, what I would suggest is starting week 1 and 2, 1 to 2 nights a week. In weeks 2 and 3, move up to 3 to 4 uses per week. And in week 4, see if you can use it every night or maybe 5 to 6 nights a week. I don't necessarily agree with the idea that you should give your skin a rest every other night from retinol. You will see the most benefit with cumulative use. You want to use it for sure at least 3 times a week. This is a really good conversation. It's something I hear a lot. So of course, I do recommend easing into retinol. And by the way, I think most skin types, even oftentimes people with rosacea, can tolerate a professional retinol strength, such as a tretinoin. I used to be a Tret girl. I am no longer. I have moved on to Duality from Jan Marini, which I find to be more effective for acne because it actually has a 10% micronized benzoyl peroxide, but not the point of this conversation. I do think Tret is a beautiful, beautiful product if you can get it through insurance. If you have a smart way to ease into the product, you have prepped the skin and hopefully have good professional guidance from your derm. Most skin types should be able to acclimate, but it does depend on all of those factors. Prepping the skin, nourishing and hydrating it enough. What else is going on in the routine, and how are you easing on to that retinol? So I would suggest to most people who can tolerate it, opting for a professional tretinoin, even starting with a 0.025%. I would opt for that over an over-the-counter retinol such as Hyram's, but that is just my 2 cents. You really want to continue to use your retinoid, and you will achieve the most benefits with continued use. 3 times per week is the minimum. But I also wanted to comment on Hailey's 2 cents of the purging, because I do believe it's real. I see it every single day. I know there are some naysayers out there who say, you know, a product doesn't make you purge, but I would disagree. If there is underlying congestion, we have to understand that is weeks in the making. Usually acne does not happen overnight. So it starts in that follicle. By the time we see it on the skin, again, it is weeks in the making, and using products that increase cell turnover, that are literally turning over those cells, are bound to bring some congestion and oil up and out of the follicle, which is actually, in my opinion, not a bad thing as long as it doesn't last forever. And the reason you want to use your retinol or retinoid continuously is because you can actually prolong the purging process by not acclimating enough and using the product enough. So this is what I actually have seen from a ton of new clients who come my way. They're just using their retinol like 1 or 2, maybe 3 nights a week. Some people are using it as a spot treatment. It's important to know retinol is not a spot treatment. It should actually be applied all over the skin, as Hailey and Hyram did. But I do suggest acclimating in the beginning and supporting your skin with enough nourishing ingredients where the dryness isn't intolerable. And I will tell you guys, when I first had my first experience with tretinoin, my skin was an absolute disaster. The second time around, I was so much better prepared. I was using good products, using good ingredients from the spa I worked at the time, and it was a lot easier. It did take me a while to acclimate, and that's one thing with professional strength products. Usually dermatologists don't want to see you for 3 months after getting on tret initially because they know you're going to go through that purging process. In my experience, it lasted up to a year, and I did take my time acclimating to it, but because I had so much underlying congestion, it took a little while, but man, was it worth it. So I do think a retinol is worth it. Where most people fall off is when they start to experience the purging. So I always try to stay in close communication with my clients, and as long as they're not in too much discomfort or mental anguish, I do try to encourage them to stick it through to the other side.
I've always loved skincare. I've always loved learning about it, and that's, when I started my brand, I really dove into, I called you.
Yes, which is so cool.
We got on a phone call 2 years ago I had questions. I wanted to discuss what your approach.
So I think this brings up a really good point, and it's an opportunity for a healthy discussion. So I'd love to open up the topic to you guys and ask what you think. Does the world need more celebrity skincare lines? Does the world benefit from Hyram having a line and from Hailey having her future line? Do we need more celebrity skincare lines? Is there a big benefit to it? Are there potential risks, harm that could come of non-professionals creating skincare lines? I would just really like to hear your guys' side. I am open to all opinions. One thing I will say is there is the element of Hyram and Hailey needing to talk to professionals, and it's almost like a game of telephone in that regard. They're not the ones actually formulating the products, of course. They don't really claim to be. They're more the face of the brand, but they don't have that foundational knowledge or experience, which I would say is the most important thing. If you are creating a skincare line, you really want to be aware of how all different skin types can respond. And I think the default nowadays is often, let's just make the products super gentle. But my question is, are they effective? And I do think estheticians are really left out of this conversation. I know dermatologists are often consulted with when it comes to skincare lines, but I truly believe estheticians are the experts when it comes to skincare. I know, crazy idea, and I'm not saying derms aren't important. They have a huge place in the skincare industry. They're really the backbone of it in a lot of senses, but derms are important when it comes to diagnosing, treating skin conditions, prescribing medications, when you are really moving beyond the epidermis, using things like lasers, doing injectables. Of course, they're hugely valuable, but I would argue estheticians are really the experts when it comes to skincare. That is our bread and butter, since we are limited in our scope of practice, but we do know skincare. And I just feel like, why not consult with estheticians who are touching skin, working on skin, and really seeing our clients on a more frequent basis than a lot of dermatologists who typically just see their clients when things aren't going well. Estheticians see and work on the skin without prescriptions or those more intense topicals. So that is just one perspective, and I would love to know what you guys think. I'm so curious what Hailey's line is going to encompass. What is she going to start with? Is it going to be a core collection? I'm sure we are going to see a line that is fragrance-free, as is my line, but I'm really curious to see what topicals she dives into. Does she pick certain serums or active ingredients because they're more popular and trendy, or because she likes them? Okay, that is it. Pretty short and sweet, just 3 products, nothing to really deep dive into or critique full on, but some food for thought. Let me know what you guys thought of Hailey and Hyram's video. Let me know what you thought of my video. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. I read every single one and they all mean so much. So thank you in advance for your feedback. Thank you for watching. Don't forget you can shop Free Skin below. It would mean so much if you followed us on Instagram too. I'm a small business, female owned and operated, and truly appreciate your support and support of professionals like me. Thank you guys for watching. Love you, and I'll see you in the next one.